As a 39-year-old, I feel great. I feel great. It's amazing, okay? 30 miles yesterday. Here's the evidence on your screen right now. All right, up a 14,000-foot mountain, over 4,000 vertical feet. And I just thought, why do I feel so good one day later? Now, I will say, I'll call myself out at the beginning. I might feel a little more sore tomorrow. We'll see. But I've taken some action items, some action steps immediately after the 30-mile run up the beautiful mountain. And now today, I just got back. Here's today's run on your screen. Nothing crazy, but I mean, nothing fast, obviously, but 10 miles. And I felt fine. It was simple. It wasn't like I was dragging or totally dead the whole 10-mile run. So, question of the day, on a scale, you got to call yourself out sometimes. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your recovery after a hard workout or a hard race? Okay? I'm going to say 7. I've been thinking about it. I'm going to say 7. I got room for improvement, 100%. Especially as we transition to the Masters very soon. But as a 39-year-old, not doing too shabby. And we're going to get to the comment of the day here in a minute, which is being pulled from a vlog from 5 years ago where we talk about active recovery. All right, so here we go. Electrolytes immediately after the run. You know the drill. Hydrate. We all know this. I've seen different numbers, but I've heard, which is unbelievable, 75%. Now, I don't know outside the U.S., but in the U.S., 75% of American adults are dehydrated, like live life dehydrated. Now, that might be an inflated number. Obviously, it's hard to document that, but I would argue that that's probably, it's probably above 50% of adults in the United States live on the side of dehydration rather than proper hydration. Now, that doesn't mean just straight water all the time. As you know, electrolytes. They are the friend, especially in the summertime when it's hot out and you're sweating more, okay? So your magnesium, your zinc, all right? We want to mitigate the stress that we're putting onto our bodies during a workout proper hydration. This is exactly what I did after the mountain run, and maybe I'll just put them on the screen right now so you can see the whole list. But all right, electrolytes immediately after the run. Boom, mobility and foam rolling and mobility. 20 minutes. Foam, and actually I didn't film it, but I didn't film it with the big camera. I filmed it with my phone. I'll try and find the clip right now. So I think it's vertical and good old Kate. Now I'm gonna say a foam roller with ridges, if you can work up to it, is the way to go. Tenderize those muscles, okay? Make them bark a little bit while you're doing it. And Kate helped. She got on my back, and that extra weight, it felt so good. And I do believe, for me, this helps me, like, I live on this thing. I foam roll. It lives in the living room. It lives in the bedroom. It lives I take it everywhere. It lives in the truck. So foam rolling, 20 minutes. Epsom salt bath. Now there's different opinions out there. I do think, now maybe it's mental, but I think Epsom salt relaxes the muscles, okay? It's just what I do. 30 minutes in an Epsom, pretty hot. I like it hot, not just like hot coffee, okay? Active recovery after the Epsom salt bath. We're not just sitting around on the couch putting our feet up. That's how you get stiff. That's how you get stiff, especially as you get a little older. That's how you get stiffen up. So I like, after the Epsom salt, I like to go walk. 20 minutes, nothing crazy, nothing fast. Just walk around the neighborhood or on the treadmill, all right? So this is I'm just communicating, being transparent, how I recovered after a 30-mile run up and down a 14,000-foot mountain at the age of 39, and I feel good today. I feel great today, actually. Protein and micronutrients. If you've been watching a long time, you know I'm a big salad guy. I'm a big spinach, kale, and all the veggies. Now you can do salad, you can do your stir fry. Probably pretty soon I should share some of my favorite stir fry recipes. I get it. Salads can get a little old at times, it can get a little stale at times. But I am a huge fan of micronutrients and pumping them into the body. Now I realize around food, it's very personalized. Some people react well to a high fat diet. Some people react well to a high carb diet. Some people react well to a high protein diet. There's different strategies out, and it just takes time. So give yourself patience, especially if you're a newer runner, as you're figuring out the right combo and the right mix. I'm a high protein guy, and I'm a high micronutrient guy, okay? That's just what works for me. This is an interesting one that I don't often hear talked about. Reduce stress. Reduce stress. Stress slows down our body's ability to recover, okay? And there's a million ways to reduce stress. You know, don't maybe plan a big shopping trip right after an ultra race, or don't plan a big, or maybe don't plan on, you know, doing your monthly bills right after like the hardest workout of the month. You know, there's ways to strategize your time. We're like, okay, after this hard workout, I'm going to give myself a moment, not just physical rest, but mental rest. Okay, maybe a good book, cup of tea, maybe it's a good movie, your favorite movie with a bowl of popcorn, whatever, but just where you can decompress and not stress. It's so, I'm telling you, last night after the 30-mile run, it was so peaceful. Actually, well, I made dinner, which you might think is stressful. It's actually not for me, but it might be for you. So you got to find what works for you in your situation, in your system of life that brings you calm. And I actually enjoy cooking, as you probably have seen on the vlog lately. But then after that, you know, watched a good movie. Basically stressed, it just slows the body's ability to return to a restorative state. Okay, it delays it. It might not stop it, but it just delays it. So the quicker you can just enter into peace and tranquility and less stress, you know, maybe it's, there's a million different things that can cause stress in this world. So anyway, there you go. Moving on from that. And the big one, of course, is sleep. 10 hours. If I can get 10 hours of sleep with 6 kiddos, 2 of them, you know, very young, I know you can get 10 hours of sleep. Now, you might not be able to get 10 hours of sleep after every hard workout. I understand that. But if you go to bed at 9, that's waking up at 7, all right? But you got to go to bed at 9. That's a trick, all right? So whatever it takes, we have the blackout blinds, the sound machines, the earplugs. It is down to a science for getting to bed early and staying asleep the entire night so you can get that REM sleep. I've said it a million times on this channel. REM sleep is where your body really restores itself. And tip of the day, if you can only do one of these things that I've talked about, it is the sleep. Now, I realize 7 to 8 is the recommendation. 10 is a lot, I get it. But I'm just talking about my experience last night after a 30-mile run, 10 hours. That's probably why I feel so good. And probably why the body feels like, okay, we didn't destroy ourselves yesterday. We can do this again in 7 to 10 days. Another hard workout like I did yesterday. So REM, it's your best friend, 10 hours. But if it's 9 or 8, obviously nothing less than 7. Oh man, that is the opposite of what you want to do. There they all are on your screen. Once again, electrolytes, foam rolling and mobility, Epsom salt bath, active recovery like a walk, or if you like to bicycle, that's fine, or swim, that's fine too. But active recovery, with proteins and micronutrients for me. Proteins and micronutrients for me. It might not be for you, but it is for me. And then also reduce your stress levels right after these hard efforts. And then the 10 hours of sleep. Again, I realize it might change. It might be 12. If you can get 12 hours of sleep and you sleep like 12 hours, that's amazing. I actually have a very hard time sleeping more than 10. That's that's basically the upper limits for me for sleep. But there you have them, okay? That is how, as a 39-year-old, I feel amazing. I mean, you could probably hear it in my voice. Hopefully I don't sound tired. Hopefully I sound alive, energetic, and excited for the next hard race or the next hard workout. That is because it's that consistency. And if you're not recovering from the hard workouts or the hard races, you're going to beat yourself up and you're going to be dragged down into the mud, if you know what I mean. Comment of the day goes out to Spaceman Stanley. For active recovery, I'm a big sucker for riding my bike. To me, it's always felt like something that lets me stretch out my legs in a way that's conducive to running, but slightly different, that ultimately has zero impact on your body's joints. I always feel less sore after a big morning run if I commit myself to hop on the bike for 30 to 60 minutes in the afternoon. Kind of like you mentioned, it just sets me up to feel as good as possible for whatever is scheduled the next day. Boom. It's like Stanley, we're on the same wavelength there. Onward we go. We'll toss it to that vlog from 5 years ago talking about active recovery right there. It's a good one. All right, seek beauty, work hard, and love each other. See you tomorrow.